It does record voice. So make your jokes funny.
Make my jokes. Okay.
All right, we are at 2146. Is that what we just said?
Right, 2146.
2146 Westlake. We're going to take a look at this sewer. Last time we were here, we could not get through it due to some buildup and roots and just the difficult access. There's been a little bit of new plumbing added here that's going to allow us to kind of just slide right into this sewer this time. Were you running hot water? We're going to just push on and get to the city sewer, and then hopefully there's enough running water in there to get the head and stuff. Because we got...
Is that like soap and stuff?
Yeah, it's soap suds.
No, I didn't take Sherry. It was supposed to be my wife.
Wow. We're at 18 feet. I don't know if we've hit a city sewer yet or not. Nope, that's not running water. A lot of clumpy buildup right there. Let's see, damn, that shit makes me wonder if that was where a pretty significant root had been.
What is
What
that?
It's either, it might be a 90-degree turn out there.
How do you guys do this?
And it's got some nasty...
Stuff. Huh. You think that might be where our pipe's broken? If it was broken, we'd know, wouldn't we?
Not necessarily.
Okay.
Most of the time, yeah, you'd have some function issues.
Okay.
But what you can have is if it's bad enough that the water can seep into the ground into a large enough area,
Okay.
it will take the water you're putting in fast enough that with just a couple using it, it may never overwhelm the system enough to back you up.
Really?
It seems like that wants to go off and through there in kind of a, maybe a 90,
Yeah.
but it's got a real rough bottom and there's not much that, well, no, I don't know. It
You're
looks
in your
less,
20. You're 25 foot.
yeah, that looks much less likely to be a continuation there. That is a lot of goo
Yeah.
and a lot of weird from that point. So it's just about nasty enough to make sure you're never going to get that lens real clear.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's more come on.
Baxter. Hey.
That
boy.
looks like just a root mass that's been there,
Yeah.
and that's causing waste and stuff to gather right
Okay.
there.
Okay.
That's a pretty normal looking thing for
Okay.
a root sewer
Yeah.
that's ready to be cleaned again.
Okay.
Frankly, if they come and clean this again, they've got to either put a clean out in right here that's a 3-inch, pull this apart and go through here with the 3-inch. Going through that is convenient but worthless because
Really?
you're cleaning a 4-inch pipe through a 2-inch clean out.
Oh wow.
So if you think about the size of blade you're going to be able to get out there into that sewer,
Yeah.
it's not big enough.
Okay.
I'm not real happy about the way this smells,
Yeah. That makes sense.
and I don't like the way that ending went.
Really? Yeah. I mean, I think. All right. Well. So. Yes. I were in favor. Yeah. Yeah. Well, he's there. It looks like about 25 foot out. We've got a
goes there and looks a little like a dead end.
It looks like a dead end, honestly. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not sure. Okay. Sure. Okay.
Yeah, that stuff stinks, doesn't it, Baxter? That smells great, doesn't it? Yeah, you're liking that. There is some clay tile behind that.
Yeah. Yeah, okay, I'll take a look at that. Alright, sounds good. Oh, you too. Bye.
Well, right now, I don't see I mean, that's standing water. I haven't seen a tap.
What's that?
The tap would be where it ties into the city,
Okay.
and I haven't seen any moving water that
Okay.
would suggest that we're near a tap.
Yeah. So
When you
somewhere.
pull back, this all looks really ugly, but it's hard to see with the slime that's out here, but back in here, I was seeing mixed in with that, the color
Red.
of clay tile.
Yeah, I see. I know what you're
And
saying.
it might be that this is a lot of just roots and waste that's accumulated because the thing's been backing up periodically.
Yeah.
When they cleaned it, how far out were they able to get?
I'm not sure. He didn't actually tell me. I mean, he was down here for a while, for sure. No, I think you're right. It doesn't look like it's going very far. Like any much water is going anywhere.
Yeah, and I don't trust it to be intact, but I don't see enough yet to automatically assume that it's not. That's something broken out there,
Sure.
and not just something that's holding water and is plugged instead of being broken.
Sure. And you said that was about
27 feet.
7 feet.
I would suggest what we want to do here is probably, stop. Don't, yeah, maybe a foot, but don't touch it.
Yeah. Well, I work in restoration, so we get sewer backups. I don't know how that goes.
Well, this dang thing has been, I love the camera, but there's some stuff about it that truly, this is a brand new camera.
Oh.
And part of what's annoying is, well, part of what makes it great is part of what makes it annoying. The older versions of these cameras used to have a counter that was, where's that loop going? How did it get underneath? But part of what made the old one kind of annoying was the counter for distance was a roller system that this had to go through.
Okay.
And that roller system would get gummed up with nasty over time.
Sure.
And it would stop counting right.
Yeah.
And so this system, it's internal to that center ring, and there's nothing that it has to go through, but there's also now nothing that guides it
Sure.
and pins it in there.
I gotcha. So you can pop out real quick.
And in
start
this
to roll.
case, and this one has a 300-foot push rod on it. So it's the most that thing can possibly hold. Normally I never have more than 200 foot.
Yeah.
So it's likes to spring out of there on me every once in a while when it's in that last 10, 15
Yeah.
feet. And I'm not at an angle where I can push it in there at exactly the right way. Alright, so that thing stinks.
Yeah.
That thing's got the smell of, we call that a sewer core,
Yeah.
and that's the smell you get when waste has been spending a whole lot of its time just sitting in there
Yeah.
and not moving.
Okay.
I would say our next step would be call another drain cleaner. I have one I'd recommend because they're very comfortable working with me
Sure.
and being out here at the same time.
Okay.
Let's see if we can figure out a time where we can come, get into this line, try to clean it, and
Yeah.
then see. be nice even to try to install a clean out here on
And
top.
what is that? Explain it to me what that
A
is.
clean out would just be snap this pipe back a little further and put a 3-inch version of one of them right on top of this pipe right here. That way we could put the camera in there, the cable in there, and run water at the same time.
It's true. Huh.
And that's big when it comes to cleaning something well.
Yeah.
And snapping it right here and putting a clean out in would be very easy.
Okay.
But try to clean it one more time with real 3-inch blades in there. See what they get into. If it feels like that blade is actually going anywhere,
Yeah.
or if it's digging in
You
the
said
ground.
27.
7 feet.
And I can show them the video. I mean, if it gets.
Yeah, I'm gonna send this to you on a YouTube,
Okay.
so you can just send them the link too, if you want to even email it to them. But
Sure.
they can call me and ask me. It's a company I used to run the daily operations of.
Okay.
I use them not for collusion, but because they're very good, and I know where they all live. So if they don't do right by my clients,
Good deal.
I can punish them.
All right.
So let's find this video, which is very sloppy, ugly.
Take a look at your sewer scopes aren't as grimy and nasty as that.
That was pretty gooey. That one's a real kind of tough one to see what exactly is going on there.
Yeah.
And it definitely has the look of a sewer that's been struggling for a very long time.
Okay. It's good to know.
That whole level of buildup in there.
Mm-hmm.
Why aren't you letting me rename this?
Well, the real reason that we're getting it scoped and had it cleaned out,
Right.
tried to have it cleaned out, is we're looking at doing the grading, getting our house regraded, and also putting an egress window on the side of the house.
Oh, so you can start using the basement.
So we figured, all right, well, if we're gonna have the side of the house dug up, we might as well get the sewer taken care of while we're at it. So the real reason we had you out here is to see if we could at least see what was going on in the sewer.
I think it has some issues.
Sure. No, exactly. And that's great. It's good for us to know. Because that's what we need to tell our contractor is, yeah, we had a guy come out and he said that it's pretty rough. So why don't you go ahead and
Well, we want to make sure, because it's expensive,
yeah.
so we really want to make sure there is a good, solid reason to have to do it.
Sure.
So I would think a little bit more money doing exploration, just to make sure that if you're going to spend $4,000 to $6,000 on replacing a sewer,
Yeah.
and you could easily do that even with one this short, because
He said that it would get into you could get into the alley.
yeah,
If it went, and that's the thing, he didn't know where it exactly went, because he's like, if you're at interruptions somewhere just outside your foundation, that's great, but it's like if it's,
at 27 feet where we're at, so close to this alley, I gotta imagine we're real close to the tap, and very likely that we're getting, and we are probably in the alley, just for distance wise, because that went out. It's sloppy and does some turns. The distance actually, I would have expected to be in the city by 27 feet if this was really straightforward. If it would have just turned and gone